and welcome. Welcome to Australia. Welcome to Royal North Shore Hospital. My name's Vicki Evans and I'm the World Federation of Neuroscience Nurses Vice President. Normally, we would have met in person this year, as it's our Congress year, in Darwin. However, due to the pandemic, obviously that couldn't happen. We will meet in Darwin in 2025 and we do hope that you will join us there then. Today, we have a great virtual program for you. We've got the World Federation Executive participating. We've got delegates and speakers from around the world, places like the USA, the UK, Canada, Japan, Iceland, New Zealand, and of course the rest of Australia. It was 52 years ago that Agnes Marshall Walker founded the World Federation of Neuroscience Nurses back in 1969. So I thought it was fitting that we start our Congress today with a look back at some slides and also with the voice of Steve Smith singing Hands Across the Sea. Take it away, Steve.
Had a stroke, some lives are changed. The familiar is suddenly strange. And amid this devastation, there's a nurse with inspiration. All around the world, we bring hope and regeneration. We are axons, we are dendrites. Let us build a federation. I reach to you and you reach to me. We are axons, we are dendrites. Stretch your hands across the sea. Stretch your hands across the sea. It may be slow and systematic, may be fast, may be traumatic. These are insults to the senses, to the motive, but we're not defenseless. All around the world, we bring hope and regeneration. We are axons, we are dendrites. Let us build a federation. I reach to you and you reach to me. We are axons, we are dendrites. Stretch your hands across the sea. Stretch your hands across the sea. Put your hand in somebody's hand, and together we can stand. The new age has just awoken for the lives so badly broken. All around the world, we bring hope and regeneration. We are axons, we are dendrites. Let us build a federation. I reach to you and you reach to me. We are axons, we are dendrites. Stretch your hands across the sea. Stretch your hands across the sea. needs global integration.
Hi, I'm sitting here with Deb Wilcox, who is the Chief Executive Officer for the Northern Sydney Local Health District. And Deb has kindly agreed to open our conference today and is the sponsor of this conference as well. And Deb, I'd like to just give you a bit of information about the World Federation before we start. So we have over 8,000 members globally. It is a neuroscience, predominantly nursing body, but there's also allied health from around the globe of like-minded neuronurses and to try and develop an education network across the globe. Our biggest event is the Quadrennial Congress, like the Olympics. It happens every 4 years and it goes around the world. The last time we had it, it was in Sydney 2001 in the Southern Hemisphere, but since then we've had it around in Canada, in Opatija, in Croatia, Spain, all over the place. It was to be again this year in 2021 in Darwin, but due to the virus, we're now having it in 2025 in Darwin. So we've cancelled 2021. And today we've got an education session that will cover topics from USA, from the UK, from Iceland, even from Tasmania. So I'd like to thank you and your team for sponsoring this event. And I'd just like to ask you a few questions. So can you tell us a bit about yourself and how our Royal North Shore Hospital in Northern Sydney is travelling?
Great, thanks Vicki, and hi everybody. It's disappointing that you can't physically be together and certainly come to Darwin, but I'm sure you'll all glean much from this symposium, and I'm very privileged to be here with Vicki and to welcome you all, so thank you. So yes, I'm the Chief Executive of Northern Sydney Local Health District. This local health district cares for the residents of an area spanning thousands of kilometres from, for those of you who know Sydney, from the Harbour Bridge up to the Hawkesbury River, out to a suburb called Ryde, and along the coast here at the Harbour Bridge, beautiful part of Sydney. We have about 900,000 residents that we care for, and the Royal North Shore Hospital is obviously our flagship hospital. We're watching much of the neurosciences, the really cutting edge of care for people with neurological needs is done, but our counterparts at Hornsby Hospital also have some terrific services as well. This is an outstanding local health district, of course I'm going to say that, and Royal North Shore, of course, is a leading tertiary quaternary hospital here, cares for the local community as well as citizens from around the state, even nationally and sometimes internationally, because of the complexity of the care that's provided here. It's been for, like all people, and all of you as you know, contributing to this symposium, all of you have been impacted by COVID, both personally and I'm sure in the workplace. And again, I don't know, you know, for many of you, for me it was one of those years, you know, that you think, gee, I don't know if I ever want to go through that again. But there are many things about it that I would never ever regret that we did, and I'm inordinately proud of the work that's been undertaken in our district and certainly more broadly here in New South Wales and really Australia-wide. I think people that work in the health system, whether it's in the neurosciences or any part of it, we're pretty good at change, and we're pretty good at knowing what to do when patients and that need our help. And I think the agility, which is a bit of a commonly used word at the moment, but we certainly move mountains. We did things in 2 weeks, 2 months that normally would have taken us 2 years, and to be a part of that and to work so closely with our clinical staff. We talk about clinician engagement all the time, and I think we do it most of the time reasonably well. We can always do it better, but certainly during COVID, for me, that deep relationship with our clinical staff and our experts to help us make the right decisions was a profound change in our working relationships. And I think many of the docs that were involved in infectious diseases, public health, respiratory, intensive care, the areas that were really, you know, at the centre of COVID, I think they would say too, if they were here, that's probably one of the more profound and positive things. So we want to not lose that. We want to not lose many of the good things that have come from COVID, and certainly in the area of neurosciences, I saw a big change in telehealth, you know, across the board, but certainly in areas like neurology, which maybe we wouldn't have thought would have been so easy, but people have been adaptable, and patients in the community have been really adaptable as well. So we do have a very impressive neurosciences team here, and nursing, the multidisciplinary team is really what it's all about, and the nursing leadership is something, again, I'm very proud of, and Vicki, the work you all do here in concussion and many other areas, and bringing together this and bringing us to the stage of the World Federation is something I'm really pleased with and excited to be a part of, so thank you.
Well, you're welcome, thank you. And neuro, as you know, Deb, that neuro is spoken not only here in Australia, but the things that we do here is similar to things we do in the UK, in the US, in Ireland, in Iceland, in Finland. So the language we use here might be a little different. It might be, we use English, and it might be a little different in other countries, but the essence of neuroscience nursing isn't. It's the same worldwide, and we face the same problems the worldwide, and we can get through it together if we're with a group of like-minded people.
Yeah, and it's amazing how small the world can be, and I know you'll be Zooming and doing it in a different way, but I'm sure you'll still have that collegiality in those discussions and bridge
It's a
those
shame
gaps.
that we can't do the networking, because that's a really big part. But yes, we can do it through Zoom and that sort of thing too. So.
That's great.
So thank you.
You're most welcome. I suppose, it's sort of like an official opening, but I just want to, I guess, restate, I think it's just tremendous that nurses come together. I'm an old nurse, and I was an intensive care nurse, but I did my first placement after I finished my hospital training was in a neurology ward at the Royal Prince Alfred Hospital here in Sydney, and cared for many people with stroke, multiple sclerosis, Guillain-Barré, a range of conditions, and it was really my first entree as a registered nurse, and I enjoyed those patients very much. They had complex conditions. It was hard for them and their families in many of those situations, and complex medical conditions. I think neurology, has got to be one of the more intricate ones, but I loved it. So I have some sort of affinity with what you guys are all about, and it's a great privilege to open this, and I wish you all the very best for the symposium, and I'd love to see you all here in Sydney sometime when we all get through this pandemic. So thank you, and thank
Sounds
you,
great.
Vicki.
I knew there was a reason I liked you. You're a neuro nurse.
That's right, that's right.
Thanks very much.
Great.